While we were distracted with the Super Bowl, and over the last 24 hours, a lot has transpired. A commercial about Elon taking Starlink to the next level with a phone carrier. How that will change everything about communications. Not only that, did you see the fact that we are now setting tariffs up on steel and aluminum? Some people think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a very good thing. We'll talk about that. Also, we're going to discuss FEMA. Where did FEMA just spend billions upon billions upon billions of dollars? You would think North Carolina, Florida, California, even Hawaii. You know, the $750 payments. I mean, my gosh, they must add up, huh? No. They just spent a whopping amount of money in a state that has nothing to do with catastrophic events. Again, a failed Biden administration. Also, Trump's approval ratings are through the roof. We're going to talk about that. And then lastly, just what we feared. AI, Chinese AI, can now be linked to bioweapons. Whew. It's a big deal. Let's talk about all these stories and a few more. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to our channel, we appreciate you being here. We humbly ask that you give us a thumbs up. Comment below, tell us that you're new. Tell us that you're a new subscriber. Tell us what you think about the video. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Our goal is to always give you information that is thought-provoking and also something that helps you gain wisdom and a common sense approach to living in this crazy world. Now let's jump into these stories. While there was a Super Bowl going on last night, we're going to discuss some of the stories that went along throughout the evening and then again, even in this morning. Now, I thought it was kind of encouraging to see more patriotism in the Super Bowl. I love the fact that people applauded the president for being there. And it's kind of funny that they booed Taylor Swift. I thought that was kind of unique. I thought that was funny. But more than the Super Bowl, there was one ad that I want to bring up. And I think that it's a game changer. And, you know, it takes it to the next level. We've talked about before how communications is such a key thing. We talked about the wars, we talked about the conflicts, we talk about the fires, we talk about the hurricanes. One thing that we've seen is communications, energy usage, everything dealing with our world seems to falter in a major catastrophic event. So what did we always say? Get satellite phones, get communications that's kind of out of this world, which is in space. Well, a new commercial just came out that Starlink and I think T-Mobile will be working together to build a true satellite communication. Now this is a game changer. Think about all the lines they've been burying for all these years of telecommunications. Think of all the towers they've been putting up, the dangers of, quote, 5G. The fact that there's a cell phone company that is now using satellite capabilities to broadcast and have technology. Now, love it or hate it, it will allow for the choice to where the conflicts and the disasters, the issues on this ground won't affect it. Think about Ukraine. Without Starlink, they said communications would not happen. Think about North Carolina and California. Without Starlink, both those things wouldn't happen. Now, this is going to make Elon Musk probably the first trillionaire, because what that's going to do is he's going to build contracts with everyone now. So I'm not saying that he should have all the power of the world, but I think now you're going to see another space race to where people are going to try to get more satellite connectivity in the atmosphere or above the atmosphere. Now, you could look at this as a bad thing. I think that this is another form of surveillance and power. However, I do like the fact that we may be moving away from maybe dangerous radiations that sometimes these towers have put off. Also love the fact that even though we may have catastrophic events, we may not lose connectivity. Think about blackouts, think of EMPs, all that stuff they said may actually not be affected, because Starlink has always said that they wouldn't be affected in an EMP blast. So are we now rising above the levels of EMP? I don't know. It's a pretty good thought-provoking pattern that we're seeing. I love the fact that we're seeing innovation. It does scare me. Innovation scares me to a point, because at some point we're giving more power to someone. Now right now we're on the side of conservatism and freedom, and Elon has helped that. However, at the same time, you're probably making the next trillionaire or the first trillionaire when it comes to an individual. This will, catapult him to the next level of communications, but also control. With money, with wealth, comes power. with power comes, it could be risky because, again, we are men and men make mistakes. And I'm hoping that with his power, with this new contracts, with the fact of the amount of wealth that he's fisting to gain and the power he's fisting to gain, then I hope he does it in a very wise way. And I hope that he still stays, to a point, humble to this not affecting really mass surveillance, because now we're taking it to a whole new level. And it's something to pay attention to. Now that kind of moves me right into another innovation that is scary to me more than this one. This one can be positive, but this one not so much. What did we talk about? And there was a few stories with DeepSeek, the AI that China catapulted in front of our AI. It scared people, set the markets in frenzies, especially NVIDIA. But there was a new story that showed that government officials were not wanting their employees and the military to download DeepSeek. Several were, which is just unbelievable to me. Remember, when you have a multi-billion-dollar company willing to give you something for free, that means you are the marketability, you are the algorithm, you are the purchase, you become the price. Well, that's exactly what a lot of these companies are doing. But there's a new story that came out about DeepSeek. Mario Fall shares this, and this is from TechCrunch. It says, DeepSeek can be hacked to create a bioweapon. Researchers found it can be manipulated to generate bioweapons attack plans, manifestos, and self-harm campaigns. That is some scary stuff there, especially for children who are now using AI algorithms. Security expert Sam Rubin said DeepSeek is far easier to jailbreak than most rival models. While ChatGPT blocked the same prompts, DeepSeek reportedly performed the worst in bioweapons safety tests. What is actually happening is they've not put the safety measures in to where you're building this God complex of AI, and where ChatGPT has some kind of, I guess, moderations to a point where you can't go to a point of causing harm to yourself or causing harm to others. DeepSeek is not blocking the capabilities. Now the question would be, is DeepSeek moderating the amount maybe in China, in some other areas, but allowing the more free access to the dangers of it in America? And they're saying it's one of the most downloaded apps in the last few days ever. So we're allowing something to be in the hands of people that may not have the most sound mind. You're putting in the hands of people who may have ill intent, not only to themselves, but maybe to others. And you're giving them a way to say, I'm going to help them build a danger to society, and give them all the tools that they're needing to pretty much cause harm. We're allowing AI to be exactly what I've told you so long that it can be. The danger to society, because it's going to be smarter and more capable to tell each and every person that may have some problems, may be psychotic, may have some issues, that here's how to go out with an attack. Here's how you do this. Here's how you get past this safety. It's literally allowing them to have the capabilities to know all and to really make evil take place. It's dangerous. So now we're building an AI capability. What if this AI capability was put into robotics? China just came out with new robot dogs that patrol the streets. What if all of a sudden this kind of technology that didn't have moderation could be programmed by someone who has an evil thought pattern to then say, we're going to use this for harm? You don't believe this can happen? I mean, come on. Have you not seen enough dystopian movies that people are evil people in their brains? They have a God complex that they want to be in control always. I mean, so we're now seeing the fact that, and they're releasing the fact that this new AI technology does not have the modifications and the moderations to stop dangers from happening to people, and that it could be used for terror. That is what we've been worried about so much. And that's why I hope, if America is building this technology, and America is at the steps that they're so much better than the rest of the world, that they learn how to build the defense mechanism version of AI to compete with these kind that could be very dangerous. Not everybody is looking out for the well-being of Americans, the well-being of people. So if people have evil intent, and then all of a sudden you're giving them an algorithm AI that can allow them to, I guess, forcibly do what they want to do in the world and give them the capabilities, the tools to do it, the know-how, I think we have now built a new danger that is more risk than anything we've seen before. Now let's jump into FEMA and what FEMA just did. This is unbelievable. There's been more need for FEMA dealing with the California, Hawaii, Florida, and North Carolina issues. And I would say South Carolina, Georgia too. There's been some places hit all through there. But there's been a more need for FEMA than ever before. The Biden administration, it just didn't happen. They didn't utilize it well. Listen to this, and this is what's scary. DOJ discovered that FEMA sent $59 billion of taxpayer money. Sent it to all those, no, he didn't send it to California. He didn't send it to North Carolina or Florida or Hawaii. Listen to where he sent it. Taxpayer-funded money, $59 billion, went to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal immigrants. NYC hotels that converted into migrant shelters set to rake in over $1 billion in taxpayer funds each, says internal documents. Shows that DOJ knew where this money was going, and FEMA claimed that they didn't have enough money in DHS to take care of the situations other than giving $750 to all these people in North Carolina, Florida, and Hawaii and California. However, they can put multi-billions into the market in New York City to house illegal immigrants. So what we're seeing is our taxpayer dollars actually are funding other things that are not actually important to Americans, but important to global push. You wonder why Trump's approval ratings are literally like 55 to 60%, and they said upwards of 70% of people in America think that Trump is actually keeping his promises and doing what he said he's going to do. You wonder why he's so popular right now, why he gets applause at NFL games, is because he actually is working for the American people. Listen to this. It says, Elon Musk has announced that his DOJ team reportedly found that these luxury hotels were literally taking the funds from the government, and the government were silently placing them in the care of illegal immigrants. It was discovered that this was done, listen to this, sending money violated the law. It was gross insubordination under the policies that we have in this country. However, through executive order, presidential executive order, it took place. So Biden was secretly allowing FEMA to fund these hotels. Now here's the thing. Who else knew about it? The city had to know about it. The state had to know about it. The governor. These hotels that were taking advantage of Americans had to know about it. So you tell me how this is fair to American taxpayers when most Americans can't afford eggs and gas, but that we can waste our money in FEMA going to illegal immigration. I don't know if y'all watch Justin Rhodes. Justin Rhodes is a homesteader on YouTube, a pretty big channel. But he said that through local grants he got like $3,500, and he got a $750 check. His whole road was blown out. You can go and follow his journey and vlog, but his whole road was blown out. He lives in the Asheville area, and they've given him, the locals have given him like $3,500 for community assistance and $750 from FEMA. The road itself, and again, I've lived in areas with water. I understand that just to build a simple road and put a culvert in probably costs $5 to $10 grand, not counting the fact that we have to actually build the road back. I mean, not the grading, not the movement of water. And so you're talking, they didn't give him enough to even put a culvert in, much less build a road. But then we can give $59 billion to luxury hotels to house illegal immigrants. This is why DOJ is important. This is why people, I think, are flocking to Trump. Even never Trumpers are starting to warm up to the fact of what Trump is doing, because they can't deny he's actually working for the American people. Did you know he had a secret meeting with Putin, a secret phone call to say this is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to negotiate the terms of this ending. A new report came out, and people were like, oh, he didn't say that. Listen to this. It says Trump said that he had spoken directly to Putin about ending the war in Ukraine. Now you say, well, that don't mean he's actually going to do it. Listen to this new report that just came out from an independent source that is not a Trump supporter, that is not a supporter of Ukraine or Russia in general. It's just saying exactly what the facts are. It says Russia's economy is about to break because of the problems and volatility that they've seen, not with the war, but with the fact of truly the pressure from Trump and also other players where Trump is saying now you can buy your nat gas from us. Now you can buy your petroleum from us. Now you can buy your goods from us. And it's stopping some of that because of the tariffs and threats that Trump has done with EU, saying, look, if you're going to keep supporting Russia, then you don't need to be in battle against them. Either you're going to have tariffs on you or you're going to start supporting America, which is an ally of yours. That pressure is causing problems with Russia. So it says Trump actually has the upper hand, not only in Ukraine because they need his funding and need America's funding, but also with Russia because Russia's economy is about to be broken based on the new tariffs and the negotiations and leverage that Trump is putting on the other nations instead of supporting Russia, including Iran, including some of the Pacific. Is starting to make a difference. Leadership. And you're seeing a strong-handed leadership, which is what America needs. Let's kind of wrap up. There's a new alleged report that's even scarier. There's a report that Shapiro, which is the Pennsylvania governor, was linked to the Trump attempt. And it sent social media in a frenzy. Now, this is not true as of yet. This is not proven false as of yet. But I want to read this because this is something we need to keep an eye on. Recent social media posts claim that federal whistleblowers and former PA State Police employees Hadassah Feinberg has filed a criminal complaint against Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro alleging his involvement in the attempt on the former president in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now he's the current president, of course. These posts circulated documents purporting to show legal actions against Shapiro. However, the veracity of these claims remain unconfirmed. An official investigation has started to see if these are allegations, true or false. Now again, when somebody says something, that doesn't mean it's true. We know that. I mean, my gosh, we've had fake news like crazy in the last 8 years. But it is weird that this is coming up as a formal complaint, and that this trying to tie the police and trying to tie Shapiro to this. There's a lot of shadiness around that. And remember, don't ever believe that we can trust everybody in our government, i.e. the JFK files, i.e. a lot of other documents, i.e. the FEMA, who is not supporting its American people, it's supporting people who are here illegally. Don't ever believe that everybody can be trusted. I say that as respect to Trump or to Elon too. We're all fallen humans. But this is a story that we need to pay attention to and just keep an eye on. I hope it becomes false. I hope that there's not a governor working against the American people and the American populace and the former president. But don't put anything past anybody who's looking to retain power, including globalists. Pay attention to this story. I don't know if it's true. It's all alleged right now, but it's something to pay attention to because there's documents now showing it. But now I hope the police will step in and they'll start cooperating this. That's why I think this is why it's so important to see Pam Bondi. Of course, she got it confirmed, but this is why it's so important to see Kash Patel confirmed. Because then you've got a leader in the FBI who is willing to look into these stories. Ray's name was even thrown into this mix. So the question is, all of a sudden he resigned, all of a sudden he's getting out. Kash Patel needs to be confirmed. So that way we can see this. You know, the person that held up the Kash Patel vote, which blows my mind that the Republicans will not just pass the vote, make the vote happen. But it was Dick Durbin. Dick Durbin's the same one who's trying to hold up Kash Patel's nomination. He's the same one not wanting to release the Epstein files. He's the same one who is trying to work with big business and big credit card companies to change the way that mom and pops can collect credit cards. There's evil in our government. The question is, how deep does it go, and can we root it all out? I think Doja's doing a good job of that. I think Trump is doing a great job of that. However, please remember, we are all non-perfect. So we need to make sure that we're paying attention to these stories, because these kind of stories right here will change America, because you're now seeing the targets on the back of people who are trying to work for the American people. And the question is, if you have this lone person being stupid, but if you have the government supporting that guy, kind of like what the thoughts are on JFK, that could be a bombshell. We need to pay attention to that. And listen, this I mentioned earlier that Trump's approval ratings are through the roof. You know, he got the standing applause at the NFL. I think what people are seeing with Trump, no matter if they loved him or hate him, now listen to this, listen to what I'm saying. Looks like Elon coming on board. A lot of Silicon Valley that did not support Trump is now supporting Trump because of Elon and what he's doing. If we can root out more evil, that's a good thing. If we can root out more tax fraud and waste, that's a good thing. If we can have a more free society in America, that's a good thing. If we can have safer streets, that's a good thing. If we can make leverage and have better relations across the world, for instance, with doing tariffs to negotiate and build leverage to make American jobs open, to make America thrive, to make manufacturing get back involved in America and not us buying everything from overseas, that's a good thing. If we could see drilling and getting energy independent once more, and then sending enough of our petroleum overseas to where then we become a huge power like we once were, that's a good thing. The fact that we're mining for gold, the fact that we're mining for copper, which helps AI, the fact that we're mining for oil, we're literally going into our ground and finding the blessings and benefits that America, that truly we have. Along with putting America first in policy, I think people are waking up to that. Now, do I believe everything's cupcakes and rainbows? No. We have a lot of work to do. But all those things are positive. And I think that that's why his approval ratings are actually going up with people who act like they really don't like him, but truly do like his policies. Now, one thing to end this. Gold is skyrocketing. Our debt is still there. We're having some yield curve issues. The market is still volatile. And we still have some adversarial relationships that's going to fight us on this tariff situation. We have had such a bad track record when it comes to money for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, really, since we got off the gold standard, that at some point in time, it's going to come to a head. We can save billions of dollars. We can do great things like Elon and them are doing, where they're literally up to $75 to $100 billion in savings. But we're also in a $1.4 to $2 trillion deficit based on the Biden years. That means we have to come up with a lot more savings. Trump can't do it all. Our Congress has to step in and actually start getting a backbone and telling people no, telling lobbyists no, and us find ways to actually save money. We're still in for a rude awakening when it comes to our economy. So, as we tell you, when gold skyrockets, when people are stockpiling gold, when the money is still so volatile, where it goes up and down, when crypto is going everywhere because it's so speculative, we're not out of the woods yet, but we are making good strides. Stay focused, prepare. You can't help exactly what the federal government does or even the state government does, but what you can do is prepare your home better by being better with your money, better with your savings, and also just staying on a budget and trying to focus on things that could benefit your family. Freedom is a great thing. But when we have that freedom, then use it wisely to make sure that you're doing smart things, putting up food, putting up tangible assets, learning the value of gold, understanding that you are the best person to take care of yourself. Don't look for FEMA or insurance to help you, because FEMA insurance has let us down tremendously over the last few years, and because we've seen that with catastrophic events. Good things are happening, but we're not out of the woods yet. To end this video, my goal is to stay focused, stay the course, gain wisdom and knowledge, so that way, no matter what happens in this world, you'll be ready. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you so very much, and humbly thank you for all the prayers for my children. I know that you saw that Jennings was having some walking issues. He's doing great. And my other kids are starting to get away from this little sickness. Again, we don't really go to the doctors and things like that, so we believe that God has blessed us to where they're healthy. That means the world to us. So thank you for your prayers, and we appreciate you so very much for watching us on our channels. God bless.